Welcome to Top Tier Wrestling, your ultimate destination for all things going on in the world of professional wrestling. Whether you're a hardcore wrestling fanatic or just a casual viewer, we've got you covered with the latest news, in depth show reviews, and our unfiltered opinions. Get ready to step into the ring with us and stay on top of the wrestling world. This is Top Tier Wrestling. Welcome to Top Tier Wrestling. I'm your host, the Jet Josh Knight, along with my tag team partner, Speedball Don Bailey. Tonight, we're breaking down AEW Collision. Let's get into it.
Nice.
we're Jet Set Rodeo.
I like it.
This episode of Collision is coming to us from Oceanside, California. And we waste no time immediately getting into championship action. The show opens with Jet Set Rodeo, which is Hangman Adam Page, Speedball Mike Bailey, and the Jet Kevin Knight defending their trio's championship against the Demand, which is Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona. And you want me to ask you for your thoughts, or do you want me to give mine to start?
No, you know what? I think it's best if you let me start them because you know what I'm gonna say.
All right. Then what were your thoughts on this
Uh,
first defense of their trios championship by Jet Set Rodeo and the Demand?
Fantastic. They looked great. You guys have heard me sing the praises of Hangman over and over again. I feel as if I will most likely continue to do so because he really is just amazing on the mic and in the ring. As far as Jet Set, Jet Speed, whatever that's one hell of a tag team. Kevin Knight has won me over. Um, uh, oh my God, his name just left my brain.
Mike Bailey?
Speedball. Yeah, Speedball. I was gonna call him Speedball. Mike
Okay,
Bailey. Yeah, Mike Bailey, one of my favorites. Mike Bailey makes me feel like a kid again when I'm watching him in the ring. First, he reminds me a lot of a guy, Billy Kidman, I think, something like
Oh, I
that.
can see that. I can see that.
He reminds me a lot of him. Um, Even some of like especially some of his moves, like some of his top rope antics. But yeah, overall this was a really good first title defense. And I mean, against the Demand, that's no small feat, pun intended.
No.
Um yeah, I mean, like we make fun, but Ricochet is the real deal. Like that's a serious competitor. And watching what do they call it? AOP or um
Yeah, AOP is somebody else, the authors of pain. They are
yeah,
the gates of agony.
Gates of Agony, right? GOA, yeah. Uh Watching like Goa, watching them,
Oh,
it,
wow.
Goa, watching them is really good too. They've come a long way, and
Yeah.
I feel like Ricochet has done I feel maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he's done or he's had a hand in where they are now. Um, but yeah, long story short, I thought this was a fantastic opener. This could have been the main event. It was like that's what I think a good opener is. Could it have also been the main event? Could you switch both of them around and been pleased either way? Yes, I think I could have. Like this
Yeah.
was a great match.
Yeah, this was the first of a few really good matches. You were just talking about how Speedball makes you feel like a kid again. I could see that.
Yeah.
He reminds me of like if you mixed, and this is an old reference, so I might be showing my age, but if you took Benny the Jet Urquidez, because he kind of looks like that to me in the face a little bit, especially around the eyes,
Okay.
and mixed him with Tommy the Green Ranger from Power Rangers, you
He
get
is
Speedball
Tommy.
Mike Bailey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Nice.
And I'll be honest, I was having Speedball withdrawal because I feel like we've seen him the least of these three of late.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, I get it. Hangman is Hangman, right?
Yeah.
And they've been trying to majorly push Kevin Knight. So I feel like we haven't seen as much of Speedball as we were. And so it was great to see him in this match. And all six of these guys really looked good here. And not for nothing, I feel like Toa Leona, one, the guy's dropping weight, and that's fantastic. Like, he's looking good. He's
Yeah.
a powerhouse, and I think he needs to, and he did on this evening. He needs to stay in the powerhouse lane. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't know who all saw. I think it was on Dynamite or something, where he tried to do a moonsault and very nearly just went headfirst straight into the ground. He
Yeah.
was saved by everybody who caught him. I strongly disagree that these big, giant, almost 300-pound or more men need to be doing these belly flop, like high flyer moves. And my rationale is twofold. One is more kayfabe, and the other is more like the realities of like reality. Um, they're huge men that don't need to be trying to do these crazy jumps that they can only barely pull off and make it much, much more dangerous for everybody involved. One,
Yeah.
that's the
Yep.
reality reason. In the kayfabe, these huge guys, high flyer moves are what you use when you're a little guy and you have to hit somebody with your entire fucking body to make the same impact. These guys that are like these towers of meat don't need to do that because they are towers of meat. So I kind of would like them to stay in the big man lane, so that we don't have things like Damian Priest trying to do a plancha off the middle rope and getting stuck in the top rope and possibly breaking his leg, or Toa Leona doing a header into the ground. Like, it's just not safe, and it's not worth as much in terms of entertainment value as I think these companies think they are. So, like, just be a big man that slams other people. Like, you throw
Yeah.
people out of the ring, you don't jump out of the ring. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yes.
So that's my commentary on that. And on this evening, I think he at least learned, because instead he did like a running cannonball instead of attempting to do some, failed
Oh, I'm so yeah.
moonsault.
Yeah, you're yeah, you actually mentioned that, and I forgot to mention that myself. That Raiden Cannonball was so much, or the Cannonball was so much better than trying to just
And safer.
pop your head off. Yeah, just do a
Yep.
Brutus. Just do uh
A
uh
Brutus.
yeah, just do a Brutus ball, man. Don't
Yeah.
don't don't fucking don't try to break
But
your neck.
all of that said, this was an excellent match, and it was a great tempo setter for this episode of Collision. And I mean, come on, it's never not fun to see Ricochet eat a buckshot lariat, and we did, and he flipped completely inside out, and it was worth it.
I love him. I love him. I love when he takes bumps. Like man, his cells are so good. So good. I'm not gonna go down this road. I'm just gonna say I don't know how you could have somebody like Ricochet and not have a way of making that work.
And let them slip through your fingertips. Yeah,
Like he's got
it is what it is.
personality. You know what I mean?
He
He's got
does.
personality. It's not like he's just a piece of unbuttered toast. He's not. So like I don't know. I don't know how you could make that work, man. I just
Yeah.
don't know.
And he absolutely is one of the premier athletes in any wrestling organization that he happens to be in at any time. Like,
And
that
for
dude stays in ridiculously good shape, and he's a hell of a tumbler. He's a good high flyer. He hit Hangman Adam Page with a vertigo during this match that looked brutal. I
yeah.
mean, Ricochet is a great wrestler. I just don't understand how anyone could say otherwise. The dude's
Yeah.
good. I make fun of him in character. I'm like, bald. Hey, bald, bald, McBald, bald, bald. But that's me playing to his kayfabe character. But as a wrestler, the dude is amazing.
Yeah. I I absolutely agree. And I just don't understand how any promotion could have him and not have anything like anything for him, or don't know what to do with him, or let him
Yeah.
slip through the cracks. Like especially like just speaking briefly on his stint in WWE, he gave them you know how much WWE now they love viral moments. they like they get off on that shit. If they could have one a night, they would. They just love him, and he gave them one of their greatest viral moments. Him and Logan Paul, like,
Yeah, with their mid-air
and after
collision.
and after that, you couldn't think of what to do with him. Like maybe they just didn't want him to go heel. I don't know, but I feel like that's his wheelhouse. Like that's where he's shining right now. Like I'm sure
Yeah.
he could do face. I'm sure if you let him have personality.
Yeah,
But
but
when
you
you
know
just
what? I think he's great as a heel. Like he is nailing it as a heel.
yeah, I agree. I agree. So I don't know. I just don't know how you couldn't make that work. But
Yeah.
eh.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a whole nother podcast talking about how, I personally feel AEW understands what pro wrestling, like, philosophically needs to be better than WWE. WWE seems to be all over the place and struggling right now.
I
That's
mean,
a big part of the reason we cover AEW now instead.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They make me feel like they're having a identity crisis. Like I feel like they're having a midlife crisis right now, and they don't want to. Like they remind me of that what was it, Capcom? Like the company where that were making games, and they decided they want to make plinko
Oh,
machines
Konami.
or
Konami is a pachinko machine company now, yeah.
pachinko. Yeah, I said plinko.
Yeah, but I think the law made it so that they went back to being a game company, but I get your point.
Yeah, they did. But I mean,
I
like
don't
the
disagree. WWE feels like it's trying to be anything but a pro wrestling company. Like it wants to be everything else but that, and the pro wrestling is, yeah. But
I feel like
AEW,
they're gonna just one day without even telling us, one day we're gonna turn on WWE and there won't be any wrestling the entire episode, but we will have bought like two pairs of sneakers and like a blender from them somehow.
and we'll know about 3 shows coming on Netflix that we want to watch now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, no, I don't disagree with you. I really do think like AEW has everything going the right direction. They appreciate the audience's time by not making them sit through long unwrestling related bullshit. They get straight to matches and the promos are quick and to the point.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I just really do think AEW is where it's at now, and I feel like Ricochet is a good example of somebody who was able to make themselves work given the creative freedom to do so. I feel like we're seeing that with Tommaso Ciampa now. Um, so yeah, I mean, this is where talents are going to shine now.
Yeah. I'm okay with it.
Yep. So following that fantastic match and the successful defense of their Trios Championship, we are taken backstage to the Rascalz locker room. At least I think it was. I couldn't see through the haze of smoke at first. Um, but once they get down to it and they're showing off their new shirts, they're interrupted by the tag team champions FTR. And FTR is, of course, not happy to see these guys, burning it in the workplace. And I think FTR said something like it's a shame that they didn't win their number one contenders match so that FTR could have beaten their asses. And the Rascals are like, well, there ain't nothing stopping us from doing that ass beating tonight. And FTR was like, wait, we're not just handing out title shots. And they were like, well, how about an eliminator match? And FTR agreed. So that sets us up to have a match with FTR versus the Rascals later this evening. And it
Yeah.
looks like it's going to be Wentz and Xavier because they're undefeated as a team in like the 2 matches they've had. So
Hey, hey, it's true though.
it is true. It is true. Just not a long record to refer to. Um, but so far, they're doing great. I'm actually pretty impressed by the Rascals. I wasn't that aware of them at all before they were coming
Mm-mm.
to AEW, and thus far AEW is doing great with them. And they're looking good when they get in the ring. It's crazy. Um, but that brings us to our next match, which is the Young Bucks versus the Swirl. And the Swirl consists of Blake Christian, Vanilla, and Lee Johnson, Chocolate. It is called the Swirl for exactly that reason. I shit you not.
True,
Um,
true.
And what were your thoughts on this match? I mean, it's going to be good because the Bucks are in it, but what were your thoughts?
Um, surprisingly good. I say surprisingly because again, I didn't know about the Rascals. Like I had not heard about them or seen them in any capacity before this. I had seen Wesley, or I'd seen him when he was Wesley. I don't really know what
Oh,
his name is
I,
in the
th- I think
Rascals group
I
yet.
think I think we lost track here. We were talking about the Young Bucks and Swirl.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You are correct. Uh, I immediately, for some reason, went Rascals because Swirl. Don't ask me
Fair
why. I'm
enough.
sorry.
Fair enough.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, Swirl. Uh, surprisingly good because with Swirl, I had not really seen them. Like I've seen them separately, uh, and I haven't seen them a lot. I don't think. Like I think we've maybe seen them 3 times, but I've seen the Vanilla guy more. The Vanilla
Yeah, the
Baby.
Vanilla
I
Baby,
think.
Blake
Yeah.
Christian. Yeah, we've
Yeah.
seen him in a lot more singles matches than we've seen the pair together.
Yeah. I have. Yeah, I don't. I said I said that I haven't seen them, but I think I may have seen them together maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
Essentially, just not a lot. But I've not seen them with somebody like the Young Bucks, and that was pretty impressive. I'm gonna like the Young Bucks because they're the Young Bucks, like the greatest tag team of our generation so far. Um, I don't even think it's a so far anymore. But I think Swirl hung in there, and I thought they looked pretty good with or against the Young Bucks.
Yeah, I agree. Um, and this version of the Swirl is the Lethal Swirl because now they've paired up with like Jay
That's
Lethal as
right.
a valet.
Right.
But from my take on this one, it was a great match for in-ring action. I mean, the
And he
Bucks are simply the
smudged.
best, and
Yeah.
he must be. He must be. It's old chocolate sprinkles, Jay Lethal. Um, but as far as Swirl, I think they did great. I'm already kind of sold that Blake Christian is really really good. I haven't. My jury is still out on Lee Johnson. I'm still waiting to see him and be impressed by him. But,
Yeah.
like, in this match, nobody screwed anything up. I'm not saying that because, like, Lee Johnson sucked it up, but I'm saying I've seen more than enough from Blake Christian to know that this
Right.
dude's the real deal. I still need to see more from Lee Johnson is all I'm saying. But in this match, they all did great, and,
Does Jay
I
Lethal
mean,
still does he still wrestle?
if he does, it's happening on, like, Ring of Honor or
Ring of
something,
Honor?
you know,
Okay.
because I'm
Yeah.
not seeing him on main AEW programming very much at all. Um
Yeah. Hmm.
But yeah, this was really good, and ultimately we got the Bucks hitting a doomsday device on Lee Johnson, and this flipped him around into like a splash onto Blake Christian, and then they went over to Blake Christian and finished him off with a BTE trigger, and it was fantastic. Like it was just super good, like really good match.
Yeah.
Not a lot of story, like, this was just a match between the Bucks and the Swirl, but the in-ring action was super good. Um, Following that match, we are given a brief look back to Friday when apparently MJF had offered up a title shot to an independent, and, this comes into play because he's confronted by Andrade El Idolo, who is just wondering why he's willing to give opportunities at the AEW title to indie wrestlers while everyone in AEW has to fight for that opportunity. And the only reason he could see that being the case is because MJF is obviously scared of Andrade. And Andrade makes it known that his eyes are on that title. And MJF is like, well, if they're on the title, then they're on me, and I'm going to make sure that Hangman never wrestles for the AEW title again after Revolution, and warns Andrade that if he comes after him, he better not miss. Um, and that was it. So Andrade has clearly got his sights set on the AEW World Championship. So
Yeah.
that's kind of good, right? Like
Yeah.
Andrade coming back to AEW, it always seemed to me like Andrade was bouncing around from company to company because he got tired of being seen only as like a mid Carter. And
Yeah.
so him getting a shot at the top championship, I think, is a good sign that AEW is not doing that to him.
Yeah.
So here's hoping
Yeah.
that Andrade can rise to the occasion.
So far, I think he has. I think the biggest setback for him would be whether or not people would pick up on his personality. Um, and whether or not, they'd like it. That'd probably be the biggest one, because I mean there's a small language barrier. But most people can speak a little bit of Spanish, especially down here. So, uh
Yeah.
that's, I mean, can we can his personality and his general vibe, can that come through like with Penta? Like
Yeah.
for Penta, I don't think that was ever an issue. You know what I mean? But I mean, can it happen here with Andrade? I think it can. I think it can. So far,
I
I feel
think
like
so.
I'm getting a general vibe of what he's going for. Um, so if he just keeps that up, and like consistency, that's what gets a character over. So if he can
Yeah.
keep that up, then he'll get
Well,
over.
I think you're spot on right, because otherwise Andrade falls through the cracks as being, while a very accomplished in-ring performer, he falls away as being boring if
Yeah.
he doesn't have a personality for people to latch onto. And not all that long ago, we had like this one match with him versus, I think, Magnus. And the whole point of that match was Andrade showing off personality. And so if we
Yeah.
can get more of that, then there becomes a character for us to latch onto. And that will be what takes him to that upper level that he wants to be at. He has to be a character.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I fully agree with you there. But following that, we are brought to our next championship match of the night, the CMLL World Heavyweight Championship, being held by the world's largest Swiss luchador, Claudio Castagnoli of the Death Riders. And he is defending his title this evening against the walking weapon, Josh Alexander of the Don Callis family. And what were your thoughts on this match?
um You know, I kind of knew what would end up happening. Well, boy, let's try that sentence again. I kind of knew what would end up happening in this match. Um because it usually happens whenever there's a competitor that they see as stronger than the other. In this case, it would be Claudio. Claudio has been touted as being this really big, strong uh dude who could just pretty much manhandle anybody. So they had to find for him a weakness, and that I knew that was going to happen, so I was okay with that. Um, but once again, Josh Alexander, Kurt Angle from Wish, has impressed me. Like I talk a lot of like smack, and it's really just because I'm joking about his name, and only because Joe Hendry did. That's honestly the only reason. Yeah, that I even
Exclusively
say
Joe Hendry's fault.
the Kurt Angle from Wish. That is the only reason. I don't even have an issue with Wish. Like, like I got no beef with none of the people involved. I only do the Kurt Angle from Wish because of Joe Hendry. So I got no ill will from him, and I didn't even know much about his wrestling style uh until he came to AEW. So my opinion of him is based solely on the fact of what he does in the ring. Uh That's it, and that's the only thing I would have to go by, and I think he's doing a bang up job in the ring. Um, like his personality per se is kind of, I think he does a good job as being a heel. I don't know if I'd be very interested in a personality from him if he were a face, but so far as a heel, he sells it. He works with what he has, and I think he's fucking amazing in the ring. And so he ends up just looking real good with Claudio. Claudio looks better here than I've ever seen him in any other promotion. Like here in AEW, like he does his European uppercuts, yes, but he doesn't do them. I remember one time. I remember one time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was Elimination Chamber.
I was watching. Yes, I was watching, and Claudio was still in WWE, and he was in that match. And oh my word, I was so done with Claudio in that match. Like I was done with him. All he did was European uppercuts. And I'm
All
not
he
even
did, like
kidding.
somebody had bet him, can you get through an entire elimination chamber match using only European uppercuts? And he was like, "You're on."
Real talk. And he would have won that dang on freaking bet. I'm telling you. Because that's all my man did in that match. I remember I was so exasperated. I was just, oh.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, this AEW is the best I've ever seen Claudio Castagnoli. Um, he shines bright like a diamond here, and this was a good match. This was, I mean, yeah, especially for Claudio. This was a good match. They both looked really good together. They worked well together, and I would probably watch them run it back.
Yeah. And I agree with you. Like one of the ways that like a smaller wrestler or one that's not as strong tends to deal with a much stronger wrestler is to find a weak point, whether it's Moxley going against Davis with his hurt hand or MJF going against Brody King with like the hurt leg. In this situation, at one point in the match, Castagnoli misses trying to like run into Alexander, who was near the ring steps, and Alexander gets out the way, so Claudio just eats ring steps. And this from that point on, Castagnoli is selling that his left knee is hurt.
Yeah,
And so Alexander just proceeds to attack that left knee for the entirety of the match until Castagnoli decides he's sick of this little guy's crap and powers out. Like, I want to say at one point, Alexander had him in the ankle lock, and Castagnoli just stood up and like lifted him into a vertical suplex. And it's just like, wow, he is so stupidly strong. Like, my God, this is like, here, how do you
Oh.
equalize that? You give Alexander a baseball bat, is how you equalize that. And even then, it's not 100% guaranteed that Castagnoli isn't still going to kick your ass.
Yeah, no,
Um,
Claudio was like, "All right, I'm tired of this. I
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
go."
So Claudio had apparently decided he had enough of Alexander's shit and just drills him with a neutralizer, and it's
And
done.
neutralizes him.
It's over. He's neutralized. Yeah. So Claudio is able to retain his CMLL World Heavyweight Championship, and I'm with you. I'd watch him run this back because there's a lot that bugs me about Josh Alexander, like especially that they keep giving him promos where they got an extreme close up, and Josh Alexander is not a handsome guy. You
What?
can call me mean for saying it, but he looks like a gremlin, and so a super close up of him is frightening in and of itself.
I
So,
mean,
but
warn a brother.
what this dude has going in his favor is that he is absolutely excellent in that ring. Like he
Yeah,
really is that damn good. And so it would be a treat to watch him and Claudio run it back for that CMLL World Championship.
yeah,
I don't know where in CMLL he's defending that championship, but the times I see him do it on AEW, they always end up being pretty good matches. And Claudio is on another level over here in AEW than he ever was in WWE, at least with his in-ring work.
yeah. Absolutely agree.
So definitely a solid match and another championship match for the night. Um, Following that, we have a very quick but definitive match between the Megasis Megan Bain and a gal we've only seen one other time recently, a gal named Becca. I believe she was in a match against the Brawling Birds on Dynamite.
Yeah,
Um,
she's
and she
dead
showed
now.
us something in that match. She didn't get the opportunity so much in this match.
No, she
What
did.
were your thoughts on this epic confrontation between these two?
Well, I'd first like to say rip to Becca. My
Rest in
condolences.
peace.
Yeah, my condolences to her family and her loved ones. She was a light snuffed out all too quick in this world. Um,
Oh my
aside
god.
from that, aside from that, uh, I would also like to say Megas's. I
Yeah,
also
that's
like to
right.
say, I would
Megasis, that's
also,
right.
yeah, I know, but I'm sorry, it just struck me as super funny. Um,
Oh, okay.
but The Megas is uh a real one. She at first I was not feeling her. Um and I think it was more because of what they decided to do with Statlander against her than it was her.
Yeah, they
Um
were burying main roster talent against her.
right, and I did not care for that at all. I mean, they kind of buried Thunder Rosa with her and Penelope. Um and I think they said that Thunder Rosa came back with an injury. I think I think she just got some third degree burns from Penelope and and the Megasus whenever they were in a match together, because they were very like dismissive to her. I didn't even know if they were in if they were in a match with her. They just showed up and dismissed her, and that's one of the last times I saw her was after that. After like she did some type of move to Penelope or to Megasus and like just no sell that shit, and then they just like dropped her on her head. That was the last time I saw her. So yeah, I'd be
Yeah,
injured
I
too.
don't recall.
I'd be like, I need to go home. That's just me. But
Yeah,
but yeah, now I'm feeling her. I'm feeling the Megasus. I don't need or want Penelope in any of these scenarios. Um I think she's just fine on her own. And as we saw in that match, she don't need no backup or no help.
nope.
Um, I think the only person that might have needed backup was Becca. It's too late now. Like I said, rip. Um, you know, yeah, rip, just rip. Um, I'll pour some out for the homies who ain't here later on. But
Rest in peace, Becca.
yeah, rest in peace. Respect. It was a good match though. I mean, a good squash match. I mean,
Yeah,
because it was exactly what you want from a squash match.
yeah. Becca definitely got squashed. This was overtly a squash match for Bane.
Yes.
I don't. Unlike the last time we saw Becca, which was against the Brawling Birds, she didn't get a chance to do shit. Like I think
Nope.
she ate a big boot followed by a giant running Liger bomb, and that was it.
Yeah.
It was over. Um, I will say this: Megan Bain has won me over with her in-ring work. I think she is probably one
Yeah.
of the stronger in-ring women in
Yep.
AEW. And I agree with you. It was nice to see her out here solo. She's not trying to carry the dead weight of Penelope Cruz. Um,
Yeah. Maybe they're gonna put Penelope with that other chick that we saw.
Maybe, but Megan Bain is strong enough all on her own.
Really?
And they need to give her some. Oh, you mean Megan Bain with that other chick, Lena Cross or whatever? Is
No,
that what you were
I
saying?
thought. Yeah. No, I thought. I was thinking maybe they'll put Penelope with her.
I don't know. I don't even know that they're done with like Mega Bad as like a tag team or anything. I'm just saying it was
Uh.
good to see Bane all off on her own. And if Mega
Yeah.
Bad, if one that name is Mega Bad, it is. But if you put Lena Cross and Megan Bane together, like Penelope just disappears even that much more.
Yep.
Like she is bringing literally nothing to the party. Whereas if you put Lena Cross and Megan Bain as a tag team, I don't see how anybody is standing against those two if they want to come for those tag belts.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that
that.
would just be absurd. That is, they should just rename that tag team the Big Bitches. Um, to quote Harley Cameron's take on Lena Cross.
That's a big bitch.
Yep. But yeah, this was a fantastic squash match, and Megan Bain looks better and better in the ring every time we see her. So
Yeah.
I do think instead of Bain bringing Penelope up, it's we've gotten to the point where Penelope is bringing Bain down. And so I really would be okay if the Megasis like either teamed up with someone like Lena Cross who could maybe hang with her, or just went off solo for the pursuit of the women's AEW championship. I think
You
those would
know,
be good directions for her.
as much as I would like to see her have a singles run, the idea of her tag teaming with the big
Lena
bitch,
Cross.
yeah, with Lena Cross is very enticing because I don't think I've ever seen a female tag team like that. Where both of the chicks
Yeah.
are
No,
giants. Let's
that would be like
go.
the female version of the Brothers of Destruction. Like it's
Exactly.
absurd. I don't know who would stand against that. That is
Yeah,
such
and if they could both go in the ring, and we've already seen the Megasis, I would like to see what more of what Cross can do. I'd love to see one female wrestler with the name Cross get into the ring. Um, yeah, I'd love to see what
right.
he can do.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see if we're gonna catch a debut at some point of Lena Cross. I think that's her name. I know her last name is Cross. I'm hoping I'm getting her first name correct. We
Yeah,
only saw
you're
her that
doing
one
better
time,
than
and I'm
me.
trying my best to remember. But what we did see looked pretty impressive. Like she put, I want to say it was Harley Cameron up on her shoulders and hit her with a TKO, and it was fantastic. Um, so we shall see. But in this particular match, yeah, Bane just absolutely bodied Becca. Like, rest in peace, Becca. For anybody who hopefully our sarcasm is not lost, Becca is fine. At least we
Yeah,
think so. We're making a joke. Um,
we're just saying that
just in
Megan can
case.
through the ring, but not really.
Yeah, but not really. Following that squash match, we are taken backstage where Tommaso Ciampa is being interviewed, and Lexi Nair is asking
Hmm.
him, where he goes next after his loss.
Of
And
Sylvie.
Tommaso Ciampa, I'm sorry,
Of Sylvie.
yes, his loss of Sylvie, the name he gave the TNT title.
Yes.
And sorry about that. I didn't mean to be insensitive. Sorry,
Yeah.
Sylvie.
Jeez.
Um, but she's asking him, and Tommaso basically says, well, it's only been 24 days since he became All Elite. And it's only been like 10 days since Fletcher took the TNT title away from him. And I think he said Fletcher stayed in Australia, but Champa said that when Fletcher comes back to the States, he wants his Sylvie back. So he's definitely interested in a rematch for Sylvie versus Kyle Fletcher. And I'd be here for it because that was a hell of a match when they had it the first time. So
Yeah.
them running it back, I'm okay with.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good match.
And he definitely has a chance of winning it. This
I
might
think
just
so.
end up being a back and forth between the two.
Hey,
Unless Fletcher
if
ends up busy with something else, because I feel like there's some drama brewing in the back with him now with him and Okada and Takeshita. But I
yeah,
feel like Okada brought him into that bullshit. I don't. I feel like Fletcher was trying to stay out of it as much as possible and ended up somehow getting swindled into it. And I don't even know if he knows that that's what's happening. But that's for another episode, I'm sure.
yeah, yeah. He dropped out of being Protoshita and is now Protokata. So
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah,
see.
right. Yeah,
Drama.
yeah, yeah. Yes, drama.
Speaking of, at least tangentially, the Alpha Konosuke Takeshita, that brings us to our next match, which is a trios match. The Don Callis family putting up the Alpha Konosuke Takeshita, El Clone, and Mark Davis. Oh, God. That's a nightmare team.
That really
Versus
is.
the Death Riders, which in this configuration is John Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and the Bastard Pack.
Yeah.
And what were your thoughts on this trios match? This stacked ass trios match?
Yeah, this is stacked. And the weakest link here would probably be Wheeler Yuta, and that's not much of a weak link, to be perfectly honest.
No, it's
Um,
not Danny Garcia.
Yeah, no, it's not. I think the problem here would be the fact that Wheeler would end up eventually being overpowered by these dudes because honestly, Konosuke Takeshita is ridiculous. Mark Davis is ridiculous, and El Clone is a nightmare. So, this is a crazy team to be going against.
This is a
Um,
team you should have to face if you lost a bet or something. You know what I mean?
yes, exactly. Yeah. Now John Moxley, Willie Yuta, and Pac know that's not like a easy breezy Sunday right there. Um that is something to be concerned about. but I would have to make Wheeler Yuta in that situation the quote unquote the weak link, the link wink,
The
the
link
weak
wink.
link. I like that. We'll keep that. Um, However, this match was freaking crazy. Again, the issues between Takeshita and Moxley, we can keep that drama going, y'all, because I could watch
Yeah.
them in the ring with each other a lot. Moxley is back to form. Takeshita was never without form. Like, so it's real good to see. El Clone is freaking amazing. He did the he had the what was it? The DDT, was a DDT down on him and then he just flipped out of it?
Yes. There was a point where Moxley had him and I want to say it might have been Mark Davis, but it could have been Takeshita. But he had him and
Yeah.
one of his partners set up for a double DDT. And so Moxley goes down for the DDT, and the other guy just eats the DDT. He's like, "Brr." But El Clone like kipped up out of it and then
Yeah.
like slightly adjusted his neck, and it was insane. El Clone is insane.
Yeah, and still had time uh to give Moxley a kick. So, yeah.
Yep.
Uh this was another good match. I mean, you guys are gonna hear again, you're gonna hear me saying that a lot, especially when we're talking about AEW matches. Um, this was a great one, and AEW does some of the best trios matches that I've seen. Um, just on any given day, on a freaking regular ass day, you'll watch something amazing or something championship worthy, and it's just because the two dudes got together and destroyed the ring. This, no exception. Again, so this was another good match, and yeah, Mark Davis is freaking scary, bro. He's scary. I'm glad that we're seeing a lot more of him this time around because I always thought that he was impressive when the first couple times we saw him, but then now, jeez, Louise, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me kind of wonder where like his partner, Jake something, is off too. But like
yeah,
Mark Davis has
that's a
had
good point.
an incredible showing of late. Like he's not just being depicted as powerful. At this point, he's starting to become monstrous. Like
Yeah,
this dude is a beast to have to deal with. He is absurdly powerful.
yeah, he is a nightmare.
Yeah.
We're saying that a
So
lot.
my thoughts on this match, I mean, Takeshita, El Clone, and Mark Davis are about as tough of a trio as you're ever going to find in AEW. Like, good luck finding a tougher trio than that.
Yeah,
Um, Takeshita is an amazing all-around wrestler. El Clone has your speed and high flying covered in spades, and he can do some power stuff too. The dude's jacked. He's just
yeah,
smaller than the other two men. And Mark Davis is straight up just a force of nature at this point. Like this dude is so powerful. He's being billed as being so strong. And I mean, he sells me on it too. Like it's no joke. This guy is just a beast.
yeah,
Um, so this was going to be an uphill battle for the Death Riders, no matter what. And Takeshita, of course, ends up winning by hitting the Raging Fire on Yuta, but this wasn't until after a real smash mouth slobber knocker of a match between these six men. Um, Again, El Clone like doing crazy shit, like just kip up out of the double DDT. It was Mark Davis, by the way, who was the other member of his team
mm,
that was getting that. Um, but yeah, just fantastic showing from all of everybody involved here. Just a really good match. And then after the match, um, Moxley was able to get his lick back because if you recall, the last time they fought to a draw, in I think Australia, um, was that there? It was either there or at Dynamite, but they fought
yeah,
to a draw and Takeshita hit the Raging Fire on Moxley at the end. So at the end of this match, Moxley is able to hit Takeshita with a paradigm shift that just leaves him blah, 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 in the middle of the ring. This was a phenomenal match. Like this was everything that AEW does well, which is multi-men matches, and you got some excellent in-ring action. If I had one and only one disappointment with this match, it's that Wheeler Yuta was out there in like a sock cap and nobody took it off of him. We still haven't seen bald Wheeler Yuta. And so I feel like you're delaying the payoff of the fact that he got shaved for all of us. And tease? I want to see it. I want to see him shorn bald and all of the humiliation that comes
Your
with.
fault. Yes.
But following that match and clearly advancing this epic rivalry that's going on between not just Don Callis family and the Death Riders, but specifically between Moxley and Takeshita, we are taken backstage where Lexi Nair is talking to the Babes of Wrath. And she's asking Willow, and Willow's like, "What the hell more do you want from us, Mega Bad? Like, do you want this belt? Do you want this belt? Do you want this belt?" And then, like, she's holding up all of their tag belts, her TNT Championship belt, and then Harley's like, "How about this belt?" And she's holding her pants belt, and we're like, "Hold on, Harley, calm down."
Yeah, so
Um,
mad.
but Willow runs down that she had so many, like what was it, 3 title defenses in 5 days. But since she's a double champ, she'll fight twice as hard and hit twice as hard.
Yeah.
And so, if Mega Bad wants another helping of the Babes of Wrath, they're ready for it, and I'm here for it. I think that would be a fantastic match. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'll be down.
the only part of that equation that isn't great is Penelope Ford. I think I called her Cruz before. I don't know why. Penelope Ford. Um,
I think maybe I did too. But yeah,
yeah.
that chick.
Um, but yeah, and suppose Megabad does team up with Lena Cross, then that's going to be a problem for the Babes of Wrath. I think that's going to be definitely more difficult than Penelope
For the
Ford versus
cosmic
and
babes of
Megabane.
wrath. Yeah.
So, uh, following that though, we come
Uh
to we come to a
uh
match. It was a match. It was a match between a returning Thunder Rosa who's been out injured for a while versus Julia Hart. And we were confused even coming into this match because we saw a promo from Thunder Rosa, and I think Chris Statlander was there as well. And Thunder Rosa's talking about how she's coming after Tekla. And so we were expecting her to go against Tekla. So we were kind of like, wait,
well, yeah,
why
we
is
were
she
also
wrestling Julia
expecting it.
Hart?
We were also expecting it because that was what was on the title banner. Like that's what they put up when they were listing all the matches that were happening.
Yeah.
Excalibur said that they were having like that was the match. So I have no
Yep.
idea what happened.
So I
Uh,
can only assume that it's some future match that her and Tekla are
well,
going to have. But
that's
yeah, I'm
okay.
sorry.
They don't have
What were
to.
your thoughts on her match with Julia Hart?
Um. Okay, so this may be a very, very unpopular opinion, but do you remember that female wrestler? Oh man, what was her name? She came out in
Uh-oh.
what looked like a bathrobe.
We're going to Hot Take City. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Oh man, I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of her name.
Yeah, the one who used to do the stupid thing where she would tie her opponents up in a knot. Apparently they couldn't get out
Yeah,
of
I
it.
can't think of her name. I can see her. She was part of the straight edge movement with CM Punk way back in the day, and then she was like Deeb, Serena Deeb, is that right?
Serena
Selena,
Deeb.
Serena Deeb.
I think it's Serena Deeb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm on the page with you.
All right. Well, um you noticed how like once she was gone, you didn't miss her?
I did notice that. Her and
Yeah.
Britt Baker, I have not missed, not even a
Okay.
little.
Okay, so back in the day, I actually liked Serena Deeb. Okay. No shit, guys. I actually liked her. Just like I really liked Thunder Rosa. There's nothing wrong with Thunder Rosa's look. There's nothing wrong with her vibe, her gimmick, her face paint. There's nothing wrong with that. I am here for all of it. Even her screaming out dumb shit like this is the 619 whatever. I'm okay with all of that. My issue now though is that I feel like AEW, especially the women's division, has outgrown Thunder Rosa. I
I
don't
I
feel like
I tend to agree with you. You had mentioned this earlier, and I had a comment I wanted to make.
Yeah,
AEW, as it's been growing, has been caught in a weird spot, I imagine for Tony Khan, where he has to try and show some loyalty and payback for some of the wrestlers that started with him. But as AEW grows and the talent level rises, some of these guys aren't keeping up. And that has now come to the women's division. Their women's division is improving by leaps and bounds. So women like Britt Baker and Serena Deeb, and in this case, the point you're making about Thunder Rosa, if they can't step up to the new level expected that AEW is performing at, then they need to step off.
yeah, and I kind of feel like they can't. Um, this I honestly, you know what? I'm gonna end up adding Julia Hart to that list too if she doesn't do something else. Like I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on with her. It could be something personal. It could be. You know what? The same issue that I'm having with her is what I had with Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb, I thought was a much, much better competitor. And then she left because she ended up with an injury. I think she had a seizure or something and they couldn't figure out what it was. And that
Yeah, like
scared the shit out of
idiopathic
her.
seizures. Yeah.
Yeah. And that scared the shit out of her. And I don't blame her. Um, and so she was kind of like, I think when she came back, she changed her move set to some like it was just what the and as much as I love wrestling, and in another life, man, if I could have been a wrestler, I probably would have. But with that mindset, if I were a wrestler and I ended up with some sort of injury that changed how I wrestled, no matter how much I loved it, if it wasn't entertaining, um, I probably wouldn't do it. I'd find something else to do. I'd find something else to do that was around the culture, that was something that felt like I was contributing in some way.
Time to
Um,
look for a backstage position. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but I would not. But I would not continue to do. Cause what's the point, man? Like I love it so much that I want to now just do it passionately. No, that makes no sense. So I would probably step away from that and find something else to do, but still stay in my little my bubble of what I love and what I care about. But yeah, and I kind of feel like Julia left, and I don't know. I don't know if it was for a pregnancy or if it was an injury. I'm not sure. She left, but then she came back and she had a nice little push. I feel visually, at least, there were lots of advertisements, really cool little vignettes for her coming back, and then she came back and nothing came of it. Like she came back and gave us this lackluster, like I could be doing literally anything else type vibe when she gets into the ring. Like this is not the same person that I saw when she was with what was his little groups? I forgot what the group was called that he had there.
Alistair
Death.
Black's group?
Yeah, yeah, I forgot.
The House of Black.
House of Black. Duh. Thank you. Yeah, that group. She was a completely different chick there. Yeah, that chick deserved the belt. But whenever somebody like you point her out now and go, yeah, she used to be the champion. When? Where?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they both got into that ring and did the like like the minimum. There was nothing entertaining here. There was a whole bunch of chest slaps. Um, and that was it. And that to me is just about as interesting as the match that Chris Jericho had with the Bulldog, where all they did
The
was
Stone
slap each
Pitbull.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
No, it wasn't the
Pitbull.
Bulldog. Sorry, that wasn't Ishii. That
Oh,
was
you're right. It was the other guy
that
who
dude that had that fight with Asuka back in the day.
Oscar. Yes. Oh, he's got the weird
I want to
shaved
say
cut.
Suzuki, but
It's
I
something
don't
like
remember
that.
the rest of his name.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, yeah. It's just about as interesting as that. Like them slapping each other. People thought that was just apparently groundbreaking, I guess. To me, that was I didn't care for it. And I didn't care for this match. Um, this was dry. There was no passion there. these two women had no type of chemistry. Um, they were just in the ring doing something. Uh, Thunder Rosa is just not freaking impressive. I'm so sorry. And I'm saying that as someone who used to be a fan. I don't see it now. I was starting to not see it before she left.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I have to agree with you to give my thoughts on this one. Easily the weakest match of the night. My overall impression of this match is of two women repeatedly and incessantly slapping each other's non-existent titties. Um, I can't recall any spots that I was impressed by. I do recall some that looked either weak or bad. There was an attempt at old school from Julia where she like it almost looked like she fell down, maybe because Thunder Rosa isn't tall enough to support her during that move, but she like
oh
just
yeah,
fell to the apron and it ended up being, I guess, like a top rope arm breaker kind of thing, but it didn't look good. It looked like it was an improvised, like, this is how I save this because I'm not going to be able to pull it off move.
yeah.
And then later there was like a soul food, but it was delivered to the midsection. So like,
I didn't know that was a soul food, bro. I was
yeah,
about to
I thought
correct
it
him.
looked I thought it looked like a messed up lung blower.
Yes. Yeah.
So this either looked sloppy or uninteresting, and either way, like, I was unimpressed, and I agree with you wholeheartedly about everything you've said about both Thunder Rosa and Julia Hart. Like, Julia Hart was on a mad push when she
Yeah.
was first coming back, and ever since we've seen her, everything has been like the most phone it in, least amount of effort possible matches from her. Like, it doesn't help that both her and, like, Sky Blue have, like, dispassionate, "I'm bored of whatever is going on," resting bitch face, but it really is coming through, especially with Julia Hart. Like, it just doesn't look like she has any passion for what's going on in that ring, and she's not trying that much. And then you've got Thunder Rosa, who just didn't look very impressive at all. Like, all she did was shout and slap Hart in the chest. And then at the end, she went to go do what, like, oh, what's her finisher called? The Thunder Bomb or something like that. And it looked like she struggled to pull it off to get the lift on Julia Hart. And I mean, Julia Hart is about as little of an individual as you're going to find. Like, she is almost anorexically skinny. Like, if you can't lift her into your finisher, like, you can't lift anyone else on the roster.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was the weak point of the night. This was easily the worst in-ring performance, and it was the interest vortex, unfortunately, and I hate that that is very often the case, a women's match, but it is what it is. I can't make it not that. Um, and I feel like this match mostly existed to kind of showcase Thunder Rosa, and I don't think it did a good job at that. And then set up their feud between her and Tekla, and I don't think it did a good job at that because, even though Tekla came out and cut the promo, I have no build up, no heat, and after that match, even less interest in a match between Tekla and Thunder Rosa. Like, there's no world that I don't see Tekla believably destroying Thunder Rosa after that performance.
Yeah. No,
So there's
not at
there's
all.
just nothing there for me. Like, I like Tekla quite a bit, but I don't have any heat for a match between her and Thunder Rosa. Like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I really don't. Speaking of which, right after that match, uh Tekla comes out and interrupts the festivities. Uh and she was just out there. First she was out there to talk some shit to Thunder Rosa. Uh and she oh, and also to call her a stupid bitch. Boy, that's her favorite insult. Which brings you to a very small topic about Tekla. I like her in-ring work, but if she wants to avoid the goofy factor, she's gonna have to tone it down just a little bit. Like, yeah, I know she's going hard on the paint, man, and I know she's a wrestler that's supposed to be over the top and crazy. I get it. But there's a sweet spot between between being a badass, like being just like yeah, I'm a badass and I'm a little crazy. There's a very thin line between that and just being
Try
just
hard,
being like,
edge
yeah,
lord.
try hard, edge sword, whatever you want to call it, like aura forming, whatever you want to call it. She's gotta stop it because eventually, or or hey, maybe she doesn't. I don't know. You know what? What do I know? Maybe that gets her right where she wants to be. Maybe people find her goofy and campy but deadly in the ring. Maybe that's what she wants. I don't know. If that's what you're going for, you're well on your way, girl.
Yeah, yeah. Also, after this match, we are taken to the back where Private Party is seeming to have a private party, and the festivities are being partaken of by the Bang Bang Gang. I think we saw what Juice Robinson and maybe Austin Gunn and Badass Billy Gunn back there.
Yeah.
We also saw the Outrunners. We saw Dalton Castle and Anthony Bowens, and I think somebody says, "You know what's cool about this party? There's no women." And like several of the guys were like, "Ah," and except for Bowens, who was like, "Hell yeah," because he's gay, y'all. That's why. That's the joke. Um, and long story short, Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy of Private Party go on to say that they aren't ducking any tag team, and they're back to show everybody what Private Party is all about. And so that was a fun little promo. Made me wonder why we're not seeing more of the Bang Bang Gang and the Outrunners when they're all able to stand back there and have a private party. Uh,
Or Dalton.
but but that's just because I miss seeing some of those folks. Yeah, and Dalton Castle as well. Um, oh, and then we came to a really terrible promo. A really bad. This is the other bad spot of the night. We had Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors come out and interrupt the broadcast and get kind of in
Oh,
Tony Schiavone's face.
Lord.
And Gabe Kidd berates Schiavone for calling him mental, even though he then goes on to say, "Yeah, you're right. I'm mental." Um,
But you know
and he
what?
reminds
You're
Darby
right.
Allin that this isn't over between them until Darby's pushing up daisies.
Oh,
And then they mentioned that Orange Cassidy somehow wanted to get involved, and Gabe asked Connors what they should do,
no,
and they
the
said they should
orange
bleed
boy.
him dry. The Orange Boy, yeah. And Kid said he's going to drag Cassidy down like he's dragging Allen down. And then came the best line of the night. Would you like to
Mhm.
do the honors?
Uh, yeah. Um, he said, and I quote, uh, Connors, by the way, Connors said this. He said, "Kid might be mental, but he's not joking because that is his dog for real."
what? What even are you, Connors? Like one, you seem like you're British, but you're portraying like a cowboy. And now you're saying shit like his dog for real. So now you're hood? Like what are you? I don't know
And
what your character is trying to do.
what is that voice that you're doing?
Oh, right, right. He was overly like ridiculous amount of bass he was trying to pull. He's like, "That's right. Kid might be mental, but he's not joking because that is my dog for real."
For
And I'm like, "What
real.
the fuck was that, you goofball?" And
You
this
know
is
what's
on the end. This is on the end of the ever consistently nonsensical Gabe Kidd saying, "Next week, anytime, any place." Okay, so not anytime, any place. It's going to obviously be in an arena next week, you monkey. But next week, anytime, any place, I'm going to beat you to within an inch of your life. And it's like, oh my God, these two. I'm trying with Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors because I think they can go in the ring, but whatever their characters are supposed to be are just absolutely retarded. And yes, I used the forbidden word. Fuck it. It is retarded. This is
I
fucking retarded.
I can't get with Gabe Kid, but I've listened. You know what's something that's funny though? With Clark Connors, I do not hear a British accent from him. Like maybe it's because of his just voice in general. It's so distracting for me that I can't really hear anything that he's saying. All I can hear in my head is that guy who pretends to be Batman on the internets. And he uses that really gravelly voiced inflection. That's all I can think of when I hear Clark
Well,
Connors.
you might be right. You might be right. I just interneted him, and he's apparently from Washington D.C. It's just him and Gabe Kidd have been wrestling in New Japan. So,
Oh, okay.
but either way, if I take British out of that, you've got a Brit right here, and you're supposed to be some kind of cowboy from Washington. Sure, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But then you're talking hood, and so just even if I take out the British, like you're a hood cowboy. What are we doing?
No, that's my dog for real, okay? So just I'm gonna start saying that. I can. I'm gonna just hey, you back off because that's my dog for real. Yeah.
Woof woof.
Yeah. No, stop it, Clark. Stop it. Kid, both of you. Stop.
But yeah,
Stop it. Get some
between
help.
Gabe Kidd just being like insanity incarnate and Connor's
Ugh.
evoking like this ridiculous, like almost cartoonishly deep voice to try and cut this promo, and then the inconsistency between the character. Like I was hoping for something that sounded more like a cowboy. What, you can't have more than one cowboy? If Hangman Page exists, you can't be a cowboy?
I mean that's ridiculous. We got a bounty hunter. You can
Yep,
be
and we've
whatever
got
you want.
Bandito. Bandito's the same thing. He's just a Mexican cowboy. He's a
Prince
caballero.
Connors. You can be whatever you want to be, buddy. Dream big.
Yeah, don't limit yourself. You're an AEW.
Yeah, A
Uh,
dubs, my man.
but I really am trying to give these two a chance, but their promos are not helping. Like they're coming across as ridiculous and not in a good way.
Flames.
Um, so yeah, those were the two dark parts of the episode. That promo and the Thunder Rosa Triangle of Madness Julia Hart match. That was just whew, that was rough. But that brings us to the main event. The AEW World Tag Team Championship Eliminator match. The Rascalz, Zachary Wentz and Desmond Xavier versus the tag team champions FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler. And what were your thoughts on this main event match?
Oh, really? Really? Really great match. Um, and like I was saying earlier about the Rascals before the Rascals were up, um, I am extremely impressed with this team. I didn't know a lot about them. Uh, Offhand or before then, I knew a little bit about Wes Lee. I don't know which one is Wes Lee here either. I think Zachary. I'm not sure, but
Desmond Xavier is
Desmond
formerly
Xavier.
Wesley.
Okay, cool. Um, yeah, I knew Desmond then, back in NXT days, and I thought he was okay. Like but I didn't see him a lot so I don't know. But watching them here in AEW, the Rascals, that team, freaking, they rock. And to have a match, like, I think they just got here about a month ago, like, or within the month, and they're already having a main event match against FTR. Um, Not only a main event match, but an eliminator tag team match. That's freaking crazy. And I think it was amazing. um as much like bullshit I give FTR, it's not their in-ring work that I have a problem with. It's their mic work. They really are very very annoying. And I guess maybe that's maybe that's their whole point as heels. I just don't find them impressive ones. But again, like I said earlier, consistency with the character, and that's what gets it over. And they've consistently been this, and so now I don't mind it too much, So,
Yep,
but
yep.
their in ring work is usually very good. Sometimes they've had some off nights where I feel like they're phoning it in. This is not one of those nights. Um, yeah, I thought this was a really good main event.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree, and I'm impressed with the Rascals.
Yeah,
And this is almost, I would like to make this as a contrasting point. The Rascals are depicted as a bunch of like homies that like to get high smoking weed.
yeah,
And yet I can take them more seriously then I can take Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors. So, Gabe, Clark, you can't be more ridiculous than the guys that are effectively weed heads. Um, that's just one point I wanted to make. But the
Yeah.
Rascals have been impressing the shit out of me. Like they're really, really ridiculously good in ring. This is another one. Like Wes Lee, I believe, was in NXT for a super long time, and I imagine he hit that ceiling that any smaller, high-flying wrestler is going to hit in WWE. And now he's brought his talents over here to AEW along with Zach Wentz and the other fella, the third member of their team. I've seen a lot less from him, but thus far I've been impressed by every member of the Rascals when I did see them.
Yeah.
They are tremendous high flyers. They do some crazy shit. Wes Lee is an effortless flyer, and Zachary Wentz, who I had never heard of prior to like the past couple of weeks of seeing him on AEW, has blown my mind. Like that dude is great in the ring. And the what is it, the Raging Hot Fire or whatever it is their finisher is called, where he does a moonsault and Xavier basically pushes him into the position is crazy looking, and I love it. The Hot
Yeah.
Fire Flame, I think, is what it's called. Sorry, not the Raging Hot Fire. Um, I really feel like the Rascals took it to FTR here, and they present themselves as being very serious in-ring threats, despite being a bunch of fun-loving potheads. Um, and this match ended up for a long time. It was just a really good match between these two teams, but after a bit, FTR kept messing with the Young Bucks family who was at ringside because they're from Rancho Cucamonga, California. So their family is here while they're in Oceanside. And
Yeah.
so FTR kept messing with family members of the Bucks. So the Bucks inevitably come out, and this causes some distraction. And then I want to say this opens up the opportunity for the Rascals to catch FTR separated because they're dealing with the distraction, and it allows them to hit Hot Fire Flame on Dax to pick up the win. So you end up with an upset victory here. So now the Rascals have a opportunity at the tag team championship at some point in the future. But then this all just sort of descended into everybody kind of coming out and starting some shit. Like first you had the Bucks out there, and then out comes the Demand who attack the Bucks. And then Jack Perry tries to come out, but Ricochet annihilates him on the entrance ramp. Like Jack didn't even get like halfway or a quarter down the entrance ramp before Ricochet obliterates him with like flying out of nowhere with like a flying clothesline or something. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And long story short, after some brawling, this pretty much leads to the Rascals and Jack Perry lying on the ground while the Demand and FTR stood tall, and the Bucks are left in the ring checking on their younger brother who got dragged into the ring and given a spike pile driver by FTR to close the show. So they're just checking on him like, are you dead? And so there's a lot going on here between like different tag teams and trios that are all involved, and I'm here for it. Like I am totally here for whatever Jack Perry's vendetta is against Ricochet. The Demand obviously have their eyes on FTR and the Bucks. You've got FTR at the center of this because they're the tag champions. It's fantastic. Like their tag team scene and even their trios scene is fucking popping off.
Yeah.
I can't help but contrast that with how absolutely dead as a doornail almost every championship scene is in WWE, most especially anything going on with tag team belts. So this is great. Like, not only is MJF a supremely hunted world champion, but FTR is getting to be a really hunted tag champion, tag team. So I was really pretty pleased with this main event. It was really, really good. That said, I'll offer up my final review. This was a solid collision with very excellent in-ring action, except for one match, the
Hmm.
aforementioned Thunder Rosa and Julia Hart, and the kind of redonkulous promo between Clark Connors and Gabe Kidd. So for me, this is only going to hit a 7.5. I feel like that dinged it enough to knock it out of top tier. It was still very, very good, but not quite top tier for me. What was your review of this episode?
Yeah, I have to follow suit. I tend to agree. Listen, that promo was so freaking ridiculous. It was bad, but worse than that was that match between Thunder Rosa and Julia Hart. I felt like they were punishing us for something. Um, and I didn't understand what. So I didn't like it.
What
I
did
was
we
gonna
do?
Yeah, what do we do to you? Um, so yeah, I would have to give it about a 7.5 myself. So yeah, you often say that you feel like I looked at your notes. I think you were looking at my brain. Um, because I absolutely agree. 7.5. It's not quite top tier. Oh, so close. Oh, so close. Um, but still overall a very very entertaining show episode.
Yep, fully agree. And that's why we're a tag team. Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
Um, that said, that's been a review of AEW Collision, and I want to thank everybody who joined us for this episode. And I invite you to join us for our next episode, which should be our coverage of AEW Dynamite coming up next Wednesday. Until then, I don't think there's much for me to do but roll the outro.
Bye guys.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Top Tier Wrestling. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the latest wrestling news and shows. You can find us on all major podcast platforms, as well as our YouTube channel where we upload all of our episodes. You can also follow us on Instagram and X for updates and to join the conversation. Until next time, everyone, remember, wrestling is always better when it's top tier.